Alrighty, I do apologise once again for the issues that we've been having, but I'm hopeful we're able to at least capture the top 10 shootout. Looks like the game is performing much better at the moment, which is a positive sign. Problem is I've got to try and get out there and find the driver that is out there on the circuit about to start qualifying. So just bear with me for one moment. Alrighty, I do apologise jumping in late. With the limitations in being able to select a car with the right HUD in a Assetto course, I've had to drive to the end of the pit lane and then try and force my way through. But here we are in the super cheap auto Ford Mustang. Weren't able to see obviously how it took turn one, but it's been okay at the moment. But a little bit of a lift there is going to cost it time here in the first sector. Again, another downshift. There's a big bump here on this version of the circuit where we might see a couple of drivers come unstuck here in the top 10 shootout or in the race tomorrow. Not so far 4 wheels on the wagon, which is what you want. You just want to set a nice lap in the top 10 shootout here. Try and start as far up as possible. Going down the mountain now. Forest elbow. Don't understeer too wide on the exit. Need a couple bites of the cherry to turn the car in there. Now the long run to the chase. So you can see 293 kilometers per hour. A lot of curb there. Initial part of the chase now, the final corner. Seen many drivers over the years outbrake themselves or run a little bit too wide, get too excited and lose time here. Start finish line here is a little bit later, and there it is, 2:03.4. Not too bad a lap there. Well, Mr. Birchall, how'd you find Bathurst this time out? Because it did look like there was a couple of corners there. Forest Elbow was one where you needed 2 bites of the cherry, but it did look like a little bit of a conservative lap there.
Yeah, I decided it's safer to put in a sort of a medium pace lap than just one that's balls to the wall. I want a good starting position for tomorrow.
Well, certainly you've put a nice banker lap in there, 2:03.4, and you've given yourself every opportunity for a good race result tomorrow. Good luck.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys.
Alright, well that's the super cheap car done and dusted, 2:03.420. And just want to set a nice lap here in the top 10 shootout. Obviously, if you are fighting for a championship, you do want to start as far up as possible. At the same time, you don't want to risk putting it all on the line and ending up in the barrier and starting in 10th, which can be quite awkward. And as you can see here now, the Harvey Norman Nissan Altima. Just bear with me for a moment. Just going to try and find out who is behind the wheel. And that is Crab in the car at the moment. So he's on an outlap at the moment. As he comes down the mountain. So yeah, get a bit of lag, do apologise. And again, just a little bit of lag, I do apologise, but hopefully it can get through this session. So you see Crab now. You can lose a bit of time if you muck up the last corner on your outlap, but he's got through it okay. And now we see how Crab attacks Mount Panorama here. A lot of steering lock for turn 1. This is all the available road on the exit of Hell Corner, and now mountain straight towards turn 2. He'll be looking to beat 203.4 at least. Then a couple gears. Turn 2, a little bit of a slide on the exit though. And coming up to the cutting. Very easy to pinch the inside brake here and run wide. He's got his nose in nicely. Now watch for the oversteer on the exit as the track falls away a little bit. And you want to gun it on the exit now through Griffins and Reed Park. Up 6/10 in the first sector. So he's having a crack at the moment. Watch the bump. Ooh, he's ran a little bit wide. May have even grazed the wall there, but he's got through. He's got through Sulman Park. Okay, through McPhillamy. Now down from Skyline and down the mountain we go. Through the S's. A little bit of a lock up and slide. Through the dipper. Now approaching Forest Elbow. He's got through there nicely. Only one bite of the cherry. A little bit wide on the exit. Up 8/10 here. So looking at a mid to high 202 here for Crab. And you can visually see he's putting in a lot more effort than Birchall. Hard on the brakes for the chase here. There's one corner to go here at Murray's. You don't want to stuff it up. All his hard work here. Gradually down the gears, a lot of lock. Curb on the exit now, the run to the line. And that is a 202.8 for Crab. So he did lose a bit of time in the final sector, but nonetheless, a very, very solid lap. I'm just waiting on the admins to drag up Mr. Crab to ask him about his lap. But until that happens, very solid effort, it has to be said, from Crab. Putting a little bit more on the line than Birchall, who just wanted to get a solid lap in. Like I said, any lap under a 204 around here is a mighty quick lap time. And I do believe, barring a mistake, we'll see all lap times in the top 10 here. 204 or under. And we do have the man of the moment in here. Well, Crab, that was a pretty good lap out there, I'd say. And you are muted at the moment, Crab, so we can't quite hear you.
Yeah, get that, mate. Sorry about that.
All good. Well, it was a pretty solid lap out there. Your first 2 sectors up to, 8/10 of a second. Where do you think you lost that little bit of time compared to Birchall in that final sector?
Sort of just over the top, really. Just a bit of different grip levels there from practicing, well, qualifying sort of thing. So it's good to have it back a bit, but just wanted to put the safe lap in there and get it done, really.
It's a pretty solid lap overall, though, and a 2:02.8. Are you happy with that lap time?
Yeah, for what this is going to get us, I think I should get us a bit better than what I came in with it. So.
Well, fair enough, and good luck in the race tomorrow.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Alright, and now we have one of the Super 2 runners here. As you can see in the old Castrol colours in the VF Commodore. Currently on their outlap, just looking to see who's in that vehicle at the moment, so do bear with me. And that is Spinozzi, I do believe, at the wheel. Or Team Star Wars. And now let's see how Spinozzi attacks Mount Panorama. So the run to 1. It's a held corner, a little bit of understeer through the mid corner. It'll cost him a little bit of time there. And a long run to turn 2 down Mountain Straight. Time to gather a few breaths before the hard work begins. Hugging that inside line there. Nice and smooth on the exit. And now for the cutting. A little bit of a wider turn in for him. Less of a slide on the exit than Crab in the Nissan Altima. Quite nice there through Griffins. 6/10 down though. And I'd say he lost a lot of that in turn 1 with that understeer and the run down Mountain Straight. Fairly conservative lap so far. What can he do at the top and coming down the mountain as he runs towards Forest Elbow? And sort of maintained. Did lose about a 10.5 in that middle sector, but about a 10th or so. So he's actually quite quick across the top of the mountain. We did see Crab lose time in the final sector, so can Spinozzi make up that time and redeem some lap time out of this and sneak ahead of the super cheap car, attacking the chase. And now he's only got Murray's in his way. Down the gears. Oh, he's missed the apex there. That's going to cost him a little bit more time as we see him run towards the line. And a 2:03.7. Could have had a little bit more time in it, but a couple of mistakes costing him a little bit of time. That said, though, still set an okay benchmark. We may see someone run off the road or have a mistake. So 2:03, still not too bad. Well, Mr. Spinozzi, a fairly conservative lap, at least at the top of the mountain, but a couple little mistakes blighted your lap. Turn 1, it looked like you missed the apex a little bit, and the final turn as well, costing you a big chunk of time as well. And you are muted, so I do apologise once again. So if you can unmute yourself at some stage, you also get through this. I do apologise. I can't drag people up and unmute them on the fly, so I do apologise. Alright, I do believe I've got you now. Well, Spinozzi,
Yeah.
it was an interesting lap. All good. It was an interesting lap. You're quite good across the top of the mountain, but your lap was blighted by... It looked like you missed the apex a little bit at turn 1, which would have cost you time, and then the final corner where you missed the apex by a little bit.
Yeah, turn 1 wasn't too bad. Definitely had worse, but yeah, last corner definitely missed the apex.
That said,
Just wanted to bring it home, really.
That said, you're quite good across the top of the mountain, nice and smooth, and you're able to sort of maintain that gap to Crabs, so there's still some encouraging signs for tomorrow.
Yeah, cheers.
Alright, good luck, Spinozzi. Tomorrow, for 161 laps around Mount
Thank you.
Panorama. Alright, and now we have one of the first of the wildcards for the event, with Brenton Hobson and Scott Nolan in one of the many Penrite sponsored cars. It's the famous sim racer and YouTuber Brenton Hobson. I do believe he's in the car, but let me just double check. Can't see anything at this stage, but I do believe, I will hazard a guess that it is indeed Hobson at the wheel. Anyway, we'll jump on board and see how Brenton Hobson attacks Mount Panorama. Able to hit the apex at turn 1. Nice exit out of Hell Corner. Now the run up Mountain Straight. Once again we go. A lot more committed for turn 2. It cost him a little bit of time on the exit. Now the cutting. A little bit of a slide on the exit. Cost him just a smidgen of time. To come now through Griffin's. Very easy to hit the wall on either side here. He's got through there nicely though. Will it give him a split time? Unfortunately, no it doesn't. So we'll have to wait until he crosses the start-finish line for any kind of time. Certainly a lot more confident through McPhillamy and Spinozzi. And now down the mountain, carrying a lot more speed, a lot more confidence. Now down through the dipper. As you can see, he's attacking the circuit, but he's also driving very, very smoothly at the same time. And very nicely done out of Forest Elbow. Now the run down Conrod and to the chase. Using all the apron just before it to straighten up the car under braking. Now the final corner awaits. Able to get the nose in nicely. And now the run to the line. Brenton Hobson goes P2, 2:03.1. Looks like a good lap out there. In fact, it was Nolan in the car, so I do apologise out there, Scott. That was a fairly committed lap, but ultimately couldn't quite find that extra couple of tenths to jump up to provisional P1 there.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, just really lacked fronts for pretty much up until about Reed Park, and then they sort of switched on. Don't know if I started slow and really tried to warm up the tyres, but I don't think they really did much in regards to scrubbing them. So, yeah, the first sector of the lap was pretty slow. The rest of it was really good. Car felt really, really good. So, yeah, look, me and Brenton haven't driven these sort of cars for a couple of years here, so it's good to be a wild card, and thanks to the guys for bringing us aboard, and yeah, just really looking forward to the race.
It's good to have you along. And yeah, speaking of that first sector, turn 1 seemed okay, but it did look that you lost quite a bit of time through the mid-corner in turn 2 there.
Yeah, I was really conservative into turn 1. I really just wanted to make sure I got it turned in and got the exit because you can blow 3 or 4 10 sets straight up. 2 I just couldn't get it over the hump. The cant hump. It just ran a bit wide, and that was just the front left was a bit cold, I think. So look, happy with that. I think that's pretty much on par with sort of what I thought we would be at. Probably looking at the other guys further down the field, I thought maybe break into a 2, but man, we're just happy to be in the 10 and happy to have a straight car for tomorrow.
Certainly done a solid job, and who knows, with the way top 10 qualifying shootouts go, you may find yourself in that 4 or 5 range. Anyway, best of luck in the 161 laps tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Lewis.
Alright, that was Scott Nolan in the car. Now we've got the Lynn Dominiak car in the Boost Mobile Motorsport car. And once again, just going to have to go through and double check who's in that machine. And that is Lynn in the car at the moment. Unfortunately, no O'Hara in that car, who normally one of the Boost Mobile Motorsport drivers. Led the early part of the championship, but unfortunately unable to make it. And Dominiak and his teammate also unable to make it. Means these two team up. So Lynn trying not to fall into the cold front tyre trap that we saw Scott Nolan fall into, and trying to warm those tyres up as much as he can before he gets his lap underway. Coming out of the chase now, and every hot lap around here begins right here, just in the braking zone for Murray's, because you want to get a nice run out of the final corner and get every millisecond you can find. And you don't want to stuff it up here and outbrake yourself or run wide. But Lynn, he's got the nose in, a little bit wider on the exit though, clipping a little bit of the grass as well. But lives to fight another day. And running up the hill now, mountain straight towards turn number 2. He's able to get the front in nicely, nice and smooth on the exit. Now for the cutting, out wide, tucks it in, watch for the slide on the exit, nice and smooth. On this lap is Lynn. Solid job at Queensland, looking to do another one here as he goes through Griffins. And now Reed Park, again unfortunately do not have a time for his first split. He's run a little bit wide though, and he's clipped the barrier at Sullivan Park, and that will cost him a little bit of time. So we do get a little bit of a lag there, to apologise. Now for Skyline, the S's and the Dipper. Not the ideal turning point there for the Dipper. He got around it without clipping the barrier. And now Forest Elbow. Exited that not too bad. Another run down Conrod and to the chase. Waiting a little while to change down the gears, and then slamming them down. Nice exit out of the chase. Under the Liquid Molly Bridge, and now for Murray's. Can he get the nose in? Yes, he does. Using all the curb on the exit, and now the run to the line for Lynn. And he goes to the top, 2027, so very aggressive at the top of the mountain. But I don't have the times with me, but I think his first sector was the one that did it for him. The first and last sector. If Mr. Lynn could just unmute himself, we'll be able to obviously ask him about his that. Well, there it is. Lynn, you've gone provisionally to the top of the timesheets. You must be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that. It's like the second time I've done a 2. So yeah, really happy.
Well, only the second time you've done a 2, and to do it in the top 10 shootout, no better time to do it. What do you think was the key to your lap?
Probably the massive coffee I just sculled beforehand, so I'm pretty electric right now.
Fair enough. Well, it looked like you had a little bit little bit of a moment coming through Reed Park, Silver Park area. It looked like you clipped the barrier on the stream. Did that happen, or was that just you running very, very wide there?
Yeah, I just kind of didn't get on the brakes soon enough coming into that corner, and I understeered way out, and yeah, bit of a clip, but you can get away with it.
Still,
During that, so yeah, helped me out, I reckon.
it did a little bit, straighten the car out, but certainly a very, very good effort. You've been in pretty decent form in the Enduros so far, and look like you've continued that on this evening.
Yeah, cheers. Bit of consistency. I can't really compete with Andy in terms of outright pace, but yeah, I try and pay him back with a bit of consistency in the long runs.
Well, good luck tomorrow for 161 laps of Bathurst.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, the next car out is the super cheap auto Nissan Altima. They've changed cars, no longer in the Ford Mustang, and now in the Nissan Altima. And just seeing who is in that car at the moment. And that is Macca in the car at the moment. So he's just trying to get his lap underway. We did see Lynn warming his tyres up while driving at speed down Conrod Straight. Macca taking a different approach. He's doing the old sort of warm-up lap or formation lap speed or safety car speed, trying to warm his front tyres. And we'll see how that pays off for him. We did see Lynn was quite nice through that first sector. Was able to attack turn 1 quite nicely, and it was nice and smooth through turn 2 as well. Macca taking a slightly different approach. A little bit of lag there, we apologise, but anyway, here's where his lap will start. The braking zone for Murray's, and once again Macca will have Mount Panorama to his lonesome. There's a little bit of curb at turn 1, which is a different line we've seen from other people throughout the evening. Now the run up Mountain Straight, and going to the inside of the road there. It must be a nasty bump there. That's that crest. And, nicely through turn 2. So the cutting out slowly down the gears for him. And no oversteer whatsoever on the exit. The cutting there. There's, get a little bit of lag, I do apologise. And again, still at the no split time, so we'll have to wait and see how he goes. A lot better than Lynn through Silverman Park. But will that translate to lap time? We did see Lynn graze the wall. Well, Macca hasn't so far. A lot of curb through the S's. Now the run to Forest Elbow. A little bit of a slide under braking. He was able to sort that out. Nice and smooth on the exit. Now down Conrod and to the chase. More conservative than Lynn at the chase, who took a lot of curb and was very, very aggressive through here. Now Murray's. Don't want to undo all your hard work here. He's able to get the nose in quite nicely. Not using the curb on the exit though, and across the line. And a 2:03.3 for Macca. Well, Macca, probably not where you'd want to start. still made the top 10. It looked like an alright lap, but where did you feel you lost time out compared to Lynn and Crab and the others?
No, I think they were just more dedicated to the lap. I was just trying to be smooth, make sure I got through it nicely.
It certainly looked that way. Obviously riding on board coming out of the karting, and every other car we've seen through there did get a little bit of bites of oversteer they had to create. You were nice and smooth, so you were just trying to just set a nice banker lap and try and start, in a reasonable position for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's 161 laps, so you could start 20th and still win. So it's just trying to get a lap on the board, which I did. I'm happy with it. The car felt good. I know the car feels good under full fuel, so I think we're in a strong position for tomorrow.
Well, that's all that matters really. As long as the car's comfortable with the race fuel and on some old tyres, you should be looking in good stead for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, definitely. Aaron Thomas was supposed to qualify today, but he's been sick, so I took over the duty.
Fair enough. Still a very solid effort in the end, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Right after now, the next man, another Nissan out there, and one of our hotshot qualifiers has had a number of pole positions this year, and I do believe it is Munro in the car once again this evening. In fact, it is Rabble Club Racing. He's still got quite a ways to go to start his lap. So we'll just ride on board with him, see how he attacks this outlap. Doesn't seem to be pushing all that hard at the moment, just trying to get through the top of the mountain without grazing the car and damaging the car. We have seen pretty much all the drivers that we've cut to coming out of Forest Elbow start weaving to try and get some heat into their front tyres. Munro though, he's just going to drive it, looks like at full speed. And what can our qualifying maestro do? As I said earlier, string of pole positions. Race consistency hasn't always quite been there, but you take some fuel out and give him some fresh tyres, and he is as fast as anybody. And just testing the waters there out the chase. A little bit of a slide there. You'll be hoping not to replicate that on his hot lap. But here we go. Munro, one of the men to watch if he can put it all together against his lap in the top 10 shootout for the AK Racing Bathurst 1000. So, Hell Corner. It's the apex nicely. Almost a carbon copy of the Lynn line there, using all the road, perhaps even a little bit extra. And he's out there, he's having a crack. And now for turn number 2. Using a higher gear than some, very wide on the exit, but still very, very committed. And what can he do at the cutting? Easy to lock the brake. Using all the road, more road than others out there. Big slide on the exit, but he's able to control it quite nicely. Don't clip the wall on the entry. A little bit of slide on the exit. He's clipped the wall, and it's sent him to the wall on the other side. He's done what Murphy did. Murphy or Courtney, but he's still going out there. And again, he's wide. He's in the barrier. He's keeping at it, though. He might not have lost too much time. Unfortunately, once again, due to the timing now, you see, not able to know exactly what his split time in the first sector was, but I reckon it would have been fairly handy as he goes through the dipper. Again, big slide on the exit. Been a very scruffy lap, but at the same time, I don't think he has lost too much time out there. But I think he would have actually lost a little bit of time through Forest Elbow there. Looks like he had a little bit of understeer as he heads now down Conron Straight to the chase. Right on board, what can he do? Making about, I think that's about 150 metre board there. It's a little bit of curve, doesn't unsettle the car too much. Better than his out lap, that's for sure. Under the Lickby Molly Bridge. And now for Murray's. This is one corner, you don't want to muck up. He's just got the nose in. Curb on the exit and the run to the line for Munro. And he goes provisionally P2, so clipping the barrier there. Be kicking himself for that. This is just a fraction behind Lynn in the Boost Mobile Motorsport ZB Commodore. But still ultra committed, but those little minor mistakes costing him in the end, which he'll be probably kicking himself about. I'm just waiting, and here is the man of the moment, Munro. It was a very, very committed lap. You're a fraction away from going provisionally P1, but those clips with the barrier at Reed Park there and Sulman Park just costing you that time you needed to go provisionally P1.
Yeah, mate, I had my eyes shut through that whole section. So I was lucky at how I did, actually. Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a split time because of the way AC works. What were you like at the first split if you were keeping an eye on it? Because it did look like a very, very good first start or first sector to the lap.
Yeah, I was on for one, mate, but these things happen. Got a bit too greedy up the top, and yeah, the mountain will bite you.
Certainly did, but in the end, he's still able to manage to set a 2:02.7, almost able to provisionally jump up into P1, which gives you a fairly solid starting position for the first of 161 laps tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, it should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Alright, best of luck tomorrow to both you and your teammate.
Cheers, Lewis.
Alright, so that was Munro for Rabble Club Racing. And now for Walkinshaw and Andretti United. I do believe that is all in the car. Let me just double check for that one. And indeed it is. With Brock, who will be starting the race tomorrow. So Hall currently in the car at the moment. And unlike Munro, we're seeing Hall just throughout the lap just warming his tyres, swerving side to side. Now, one of a number of drivers to set a 201 in practice. Haven't seen that so far. The track does, the grip does change. The servo, I'm pretty sure, was reset a little while ago for the start of qualifying, so it's not going to be as gripped up as what it would be after a long practice session. But here he goes, Hall, Walkinshaw, Andretti United. First of the big guns out there at the moment. Now, will it give us a time? Well, looks like it's going to once again have another one of these timing glitches. Bit of a slide though on the exit of turn 1. So not an ideal start to his lap, but he'll be hoping to make up for it at turn 2 and through the cutting. So now just picking out a brake marker right at that penultimate board there. Hugs the inside. Not using as much road as the others. In fact, using the least amount of road of every other driver that I've seen so far through turn 2. Not using all the road for the entry of the cutting though. Does hug the inside. A little bit of a slide on the exit, but still relatively smooth lap so far for Hall. Gets out nice and wide, tucks it in, avoids the barrier. Yes, he does. Looking for a great. There it is. Don't go too wild over that bump, and that's a nice run through Reed and Sulman Park. Now through McPhillamy, again nice and smooth as we go over Skyline, through the S's and then to the Dipper. That's it. Catch himself from turning in too early there, but it's been a nice lap so far, nice and smooth. Not quite as wide as some others for the turn in for Forest Elbow, running nice and wide on the exit. Now the run down the hill. And the run to the chase. Again, that 150 he's braking, bit of curb. Not on the power as early as I would have thought, so he's just taking it easy, doesn't want to lose too much time or spin the car. hard on the brakes of Murray's. A little bit of curb. And it's been a nice lap. But what will the clock say? And it will say a 2:02.368. So, provisional pole position for Walkinshaw and Andretti United. And a very, very solid lap for Mr. Hall. And Mr. Hall could just unmute himself. That would be greatly appreciated. But there it is. To the top of the timesheets. 2:02.368. It didn't look particularly fast, but was able to hit all the apexes. Didn't make any errors that we could see. And for the moment, sitting atop of the timesheets. So it's just going through a bit of a cool down lap at the moment. So we're just waiting for Hall to unmute himself. He's probably just waiting to get out of Forest Elbow, and we're going to have to alt tab and unmute himself. But to the top of the timesheets at the moment, and he'll be quite happy with that one. Yeah, it looks like he's still muted, so I do apologise, but hopefully it gives us enough time to have a small chat before Cotter gets us underway. And here he is. Well, Hall, to the top of the timesheets. It wasn't a spectacular looking lap, but it was spectacular in the way that mattered on the lap time.
Good enough, I guess, eh?
Certainly. 2:02.3. How'd the car feel for you out there?
Yeah, it's pretty nice, smooth, easy, man.
It certainly looked like it out there. Anyway, best of luck tomorrow. 161 laps, and currently you are slated to start from the front row. You must be hoping for a couple of mistakes for the next couple of guys that are about to start their laps.
Yeah, they're all pretty fast, those boys. So yeah.
Anyway,
up to them now, eh?
Yep. Well, good lap and best of luck for tomorrow.
Thanks, bro.
All right, now Cotter, he is the man. Penrite Erebus Racing out there at the moment. Through turn one, alright. One of the drivers contending the championship, both drivers from Penrite Erebus Motorsport and the team Castrol Plus Fitness are the ones contesting the drivers and teams championship. They battled it out at Queensland Raceway, and Cotter just battling there through the cutting. Can he be the first man into the ones? Very, very committed through Reed Park. Now through McPhillamy. Using a higher gear than a number of the other drivers that we've seen so far. And, quite nice through the dip as well. Just gets the nose in for Forest Elbow and then plucks a gear early, 2 tenths up. What can he manage here in the final sector? Will we see our first one, the top 10 shootout? To the chase, 150 or so. Oh, he's outbroke himself there. He's going to lose a little bit of time. Might cost him a chance at a 201, but will it cost him a chance for pole position? Now just for Murray's, doesn't quite get the nose in, has to use that curb on the exit. There's a little bit of a berm, and to the line, and he's not able to do it. That mistake at the chase costing him. He'll be disappointed with that one, but still provisionally starting on the front row with that one. Well, Matt, it wasn't an ideal lap with a couple little mistakes, but for the most part, it was looking like it was going to be a lap that would put you on provisional pole there.
Yeah, for a while it did. Just a few stupid mistakes on my behalf, but that's alright. Not my best lap, not the tidiest, but I'll have to do.
Certainly. Top of the mountain, you were very, very committed, and I think you were definitely the best going through the Reed Park, Silverman Park complex. How does the car feel at the top of the mountain compared to, say, Murray's, where you did make and the Chase, where you did make a couple little minor errors there?
Yeah, it feels pretty stable over the top actually. It just depends on what line you take. If you hit the right groove, it's ace. If you're slightly offline by half a metre, you're in a world of trouble here.
Certainly. Well, couldn't quite nab a chance at pole position, but you're still going to be starting at least from, at worst, third position. So still a good starting spot for tomorrow's 1000.
Yeah, definitely second row, so see what we can do from there, but just aim at the game tomorrow is to get to the end and see what happens.
Yeah, that's it. Best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Alright, so that's it. That's 9 runners in the top 10 shootout, and now we have Team Castrol plus Fitness locked in a Titanic scrap in the teams and a drivers championship with the previous car and a driver that was out on the circuit. Penrite Erebus team, Matt Cotter and Mr. Reed, and now it's up to Cortum, who I do believe is driving that car. No, it's Delaney, my mistake. It's Delaney in the car, who's found a little bit of form of late, pace-wise. Cortum's been the more consistent of the two, but the last couple of rounds, Delaney, especially at Queensland Raceway, was on a bit of a tear. A little bit of bad luck set them astray at Queensland. Cortum was unwell, and it did cost them a bit of time out there, but they still managed to pick up second place in the end. Anyway, here we go. Delaney, the final man here, the AK Racing Bathurst 1000 top 10 shootout. Very, very aggressive start to his lap, which starts before the clock starts ticking. Very, very wide on the entry to turn 1. Bit of a slide on the exit. He's out there, he's having a crack. And it's a 202.368 to beat. Now the run through turn 2 usually sets the tone for how people attack the mountain and how laps go. Oop, there's getting a little bit of lag there, I do apologise. And now for the cutting. Very, very wide and a later turn in than what we've seen anybody else out there. Wide on the exit, but he's out there, he's flat. Now for Reed Park, he's able to navigate it without clipping the barrier. He's up by just over a quarter of a tenth. He's clipped the barrier on the exit of Silverman Park though. It will cost him a little bit of time, but we did see Lynn do that and it did put him up into provisional pole position at the time, so it might not be all that bad. This goes through the S's and now through the dipper. Very late to double down shift for Forrest Selby. A little bit of slide and a short shift on the exit. He's up by a tenth, but Hall was very, very good in that final sector when we were riding on board with him. So what can Delaney do? Can he maintain that 1/10 gap and stick it on pole position? Almost on the limiter as he comes into the chase. Slowly down the gears. Nice and smooth through the chase, not fighting the car at all. And now just one braking zone to go. And Does he get the nose in? He just misses the apex a little bit, but it won't cost him too much time. Uses the curb on the exit as a little bit of a berm. Now the run to the line, and he's done it. He did lose a little bit of time, but he has just snuck up in front. And the Team Plus Fitness Castrol Nissan Ultima will start tomorrow's Bathurst 1000 from pole position, holding on in the end, with the top 3 drivers separated by less than a tenth of a second. And then we have 4th, 5th, and 6th also separated by a tenth and a half. Well, Delaney, that was very, very nicely done in the end there. Quite good across the top of the mountain, but you lost just a smidgen there in that final sector there.
Yeah, I feel like I've lost a lot in that first sector. I just couldn't get the turn in at turn 2. But once I kind of went through turn 4, the car kind of came to me through the top. Did hit the wall a little bit, but the car felt good on the way down, so...
Yeah, we had seen it, I think we saw Lynn earlier on. He clipped the barrier a couple times through Sulman Park, but was able to sort of maintain a decent lap time. Looked like it worked for you again. You're able to not lose too much time, but through the cutting, Griffins and Reed Park, you did look much better than what we've seen any of the other drivers out there. So that car looks quite good across the top of the mountain.
Yeah, the car's pretty decent through the top. Throughout the week, it's been pretty good in the first sector, so I'm pretty surprised it handled so well up the top. The last sector, I just didn't really get the turn onto the straight. It felt like a bit understeer onto Conrod, but you know, I didn't know what it was going to be until I crossed the line, so it was good to come out P1.
Well, you'll take P1 any day of the week, regardless of how you do it. But do you think perhaps that missed turn in there for turn 2, you think that was maybe you not warming your front tyres up enough?
I think it was more the brakes. I kind of started pushing halfway through the lap. Probably should have done a better warm-up job, but can't really do much about it now. I don't know. The car's good. I feel like the car's pretty well. So it's all about tomorrow. Doesn't matter what I do today. I could suffer it all tomorrow.
Well, either way, pole position. It makes you, at least the first stint, a significant amount easier starting from the front row. Nice lap, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Lewis.
All right. Well, that was Delaney for Team Castrol Plus Fitness, the Nissan Ultima. That team looking to win the team, and one of their drivers looking to win the Drivers' Championship. So just to run through the top 10 shootout standings once again, just bear with me. We have obviously Cortum and Delaney will start tomorrow's 1000 from pole position with a lap time for 2:02.308, with Brock and Hall at 2:02.368, Reed and Cotter, Penrite Erebus Racing 2:02.403, Lynn and Demiak at 2:02.715, Lauder and Munro 2:02.754, Payne and Crab at 2:02.855, followed by Hobson and Nolan with a 2:03.132, Thomas and Macca 2:03.385, with Thornton and Birchall in the lone Mustang in the top 10 shootout with a 2:02.432, with Monty and Spinozzi rounding out the top 10 shootout with a 2:03.791. But a great effort from those guys, being Super 2 drivers, so great effort from those guys to make the top 10 shootout to begin with. And still, 2:03.791. I know they were hoping maybe for a little bit more, but still, it's a fair effort from those guys. Well, from myself, Lewis Wedding, I hope you've enjoyed this error-struck and I guess glitchy AC stream from the AK Racing Supercars Championship. I do apologise for the issues. I will try and stream tomorrow's race, but if there's too many issues, unfortunately, we'll probably have to cancel it if it's too laggy and the like. I do apologise if that happens, but I will try and give it a crack. But from myself, Lewis Wedding, and from AK Racing, hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast of qualifying and the top 10 shootout for the AK Racing Supercar Championship, Bathurst 1000. Have a good.